Families are gathered together, as they should be, but not everyone's going to get to go home tonight, just like Charlie Kirk 2 months ago. Today, 2 members of the West Virginia National Guard were shot in cold blood in broad daylight, less than a mile from the White House, and they are now in critical condition at local hospitals. The suspect has been apprehended. It's exactly what you would expect it to be. Here's what we know. 29-year-old Afghani national who may have entered the country illegally in 2021 when Joe Biden was president. Afghani, national, Muslim, illegal, alien. We're trying to confirm all of that. The first part, CBS and NBC are both reporting right now. The crime of these National Guard troops protecting the city of Washington, the people of Washington, the residents, the tourists, the families, from a crime in a city that, like so many other blue cities, has only gotten worse, to the point where Bethany McGee, an innocent 26-year-old, is clinging to life in a hospital tonight after a man who'd been arrested 72 times before poured gasoline on her for no reason on a train in Chicago last week and tried to burn her to death. That's what life is like for people living in blue cities across this country. I say blue cities because this is almost exclusively happening in cities run by Democrats. And now 2 innocent Americans, 2 members of the National Guard, are clinging to life themselves, and we pray for them. The governor of West Virginia, who's going to be joining us in just a few moments, tweeting that, quote, "It is with great sorrow that we can confirm both members of the National Guard were shot today in Washington, D.C. Our entire state grieves with their families, their loved ones, and the Guard community. West Virginia will not forget their sacrifice and their service, and we will demand full accountability for this horrific act." The president adding to that on Truth Social tonight, quote, "The animal who shot the 2 National Guardsmen will pay a very steep price. God bless our great National Guard and all of our military and law enforcement. They are truly great people, and we are with you." The Secretary of War also making it clear that their resolve will not be deterred by an insane Afghani assassin, and that 500 additional National Guard troops will be deployed to Washington.
They love their fellow Americans. Someone decided to turn that into targeting National Guardsmen. That will only stiffen our resolve. We will never back down. We will secure our capital. We will secure our cities. In fact, this happened just steps away from the White House. It will not stand. And that's why President Trump has asked me, and I will ask the Secretary of the Army, to the National Guard to add 500 additional troops, National Guardsmen, to Washington, D.C.
Peace through strength. The FBI director and the Democrat mayor of Washington, D.C. also making it clear that this deranged Muslim Afghani national, possibly an illegal alien, will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Since this is an assault on a federal law enforcement officer, this will be treated at the federal level as an assault on a federal law enforcement officer. We will work together collaboratively, because this is a matter of national security.
And we join with the FBI director in ensuring that MPD investigates, the U.S. attorney prosecutes this case to the fullest extent of the law.
It's just unbelievable how tragic this is, how avoidable all of this is. Here we are again, a radicalized lone gunman. Of course, they're already saying this is a lone gunman. He wasn't working with anybody else. You don't know that. Don't say that. In all likelihood, this person is on the left. This person has heard the endless calls for violence from the left, from Democrat politicians in Washington, of course. Also, their endless stream of friends and allies in the legacy media, whose legacy is stuff like this. That's it. That's why they're failing. That's why anchors are being fired and networks' names are being changed to MS Now. Last week, it was this: 6 members of Congress, 2 of them United States senators, advising members of the military to refuse all illegal orders from Donald Trump, even though not a single one of them could name a single illegal order.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
How stupid do those 6 lawmakers look right now? Alyssa Slotkin, who we'll get to, how stupid does she look tonight? Rhetoric, language like that, statements from the left almost exclusively calling for violence, and that's what they got. This is exactly what the left wants to happen. And we say that because that's the only logical reaction to what they have said for years about people on the right. When you use words like Hitler and Nazi and dictator and king or Gestapo, what do they think is going to happen? This is what's going to happen. Don't forget Charlie Kirk. That was 2 months ago. The sad part tonight is that these are just members of the National Guard. They're not political. They're just out there following orders. These might have been Kamala voters who were shot today. They're just Americans. That's the point. That's what matters. And someone, this deranged Afghani national who should not be in this country, came here in 2021. We know that much. Tried to kill them today, just after 2 p.m., based on a logic that is so nonsensical, so warped, so confused. An insane shooter who shouldn't be in this country tried to assassinate 2 members of the National Guard because they were deployed to keep the streets of Washington, D.C. safe from people like you. Think about that. And the results, they're clear. The National Guard has been effective. Not only has violent crime been cut in half since the Guard was deployed to Washington in August, but the homicide rate is at its lowest levels in Washington, D.C. in over 30 years, since August. But instead of acknowledging that, instead of working with the White House, Democrats this weekend told the public that they were afraid that National Guard troops were going to shoot American citizens.
These videos coming out of places like Chicago, it makes me incredibly nervous that we're about to see people in law enforcement, people in uniform military get nervous, get stressed, shoot at American civilians. It is a very, very stressful situation for these law enforcement and for the communities on the ground. So it was basically a warning to say, like, if you're asked to do something, particularly against American citizens.
I mean, just that, again, that is Senator Alyssa Slotkin, who has now completed one of the all-time bad weeks in politics, completely avoidable, completely self-inflicted. Alyssa, get off television, stop talking, go home and spend some time with your family, and think about this tomorrow when you're saying grace, if you say grace. It was the other way around today, wasn't it? The day before Thanksgiving, someone, an Afghani national, just shot 2 National Guard troops for no reason. And again, according to reports, that gunman, a lone gunman, a Muslim Afghani national, very possibly an illegal alien who entered the country in 2021.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.